Wait, he said it's releasing tonight.
It isn't safe. It can't be controlled.
Spellbreak is releasing soon. And it's gonna be good. Hey everyone, I'm Crazy Guitar Man, and today was pretty insane in terms of how Spellbreak is doing and what they're actually providing us. They've been going on for the past little bit about how they're gonna have this big announcement. The past 3 days they've released a few animations that looked pretty interesting, all leading up to this big event that they were going to reveal. And they've been hyping it up for a little while in anticipation for them actually announcing something that was going to be probably their biggest announcement, so they were saying. A lot of us were having the feeling, what if they just happened to give us a game today? Going along with that thought, I thought, if they do that, I'm just gonna eat my hat. I'll literally eat my hat. Probably not the smartest thing. Anyway, today starts, and we start watching the stream. Proletariat had their own stream going on. They did fantastic. They had like over 1,000 viewers. I was doing my own stream as well over at Crazy Guitar Man 23, where you can find me. Also on Twitter, and I have Discord, links in the description. And so I was watching, and I was expecting it to be a little bit closer to the beginning of the whole thing. I thought it was going to be a much shorter stream, ended up being like 2 hours long. But they start to announce it just after this other game. And the guy, he starts saying, here's a game that's going to be released today.
Here's a look at a new game that is launching tonight.
I ate my hat. Or at least I tried to eat my hat. It obviously didn't work out. Maybe that's why the sex part happened, because we were all confused that they said today, but at the very end of the video, it said in big letters, September 3rd. And that was pretty heartbreaking, to be honest. I just shoved a hunk of cloth in my mouth while screaming in excitement about this game coming out today.
Wait, he said it's releasing tonight.
It isn't safe. It can't be controlled. Magic cannot be used. But I am a battle
The announcement video looks fantastic, by the way. Don't get me wrong there. But man, I haven't tasted cloth that consistently in quite some time. I can't think of a different time, to be honest. In any case, the Proletariat stream did really good. They had over 1,000 viewers, which is kind of a lot, to be honest, just for anyone in Spellbreak. They answered a lot of questions during it too, coming from chat directly. And they had a little bit of an after announcement thing going on as well. After the announcement, they teased about something exclusive, and it turned out to be some gameplay during an event that they were holding, where they had a bunch of content creators just playing the game, testing it out as what's going to be when they release it, which I'm really excited about. There are a few things about the gameplay that I noticed as well, and I'll get to those after I talk about the questions that they answered during the announcement trailer and everything. So after they showed the gameplay of that event that they held, that was behind closed doors, Andy was kind of joking around, saying that there's one last sneak peek. And then he continued to ask, well, do you guys watch anime in dub or sub? And after people were talking about it, I'll just say they released a Japanese trailer. Japanese trailer. It fits so much better, to be honest. What with like how anime Spellbreak seems to be, it's just great, to be honest. Especially with the music. I was kind of iffy on the music, but you know, if it's supposed to be fitting with a Japanese kind of theme, then it totally works out. A little bit Sonic-y, but it still works just fine. Now moving on to the questions that they actually answered, one of the big ones that I want to talk about first and foremost is optimization improvements. Somebody was talking or asking about that, and Andy was saying that they actually had to do a lot to be able to port everything over to Nintendo Switch. They were even saying that there was a rumor that was going around that people who were having 30 FPS on medium settings were continuing to have 120 FPS on Ultra.
I actually think we've heard rumors and such that people who used to be able to play the game on medium at something like 30 FPS are now playing it on Ultra at 120.
Yeah.
So I feel like in general things have gotten much better.
Now that's kind of insane. I need to see that before I believe it, to be honest. I just want 120 FPS on low consistently. I'd like to be able to stream this game without any hitches, but cool. 120 Ultra. On top of that, they talked a little bit more about the competitive aspect of the game. They said it's not really focused right now. They're kind of more worried about just shipping the game in general to begin with. It's also going to be a store open at launch, so we're going to get cosmetics. That's one thing I noticed in the trailer as well. There's a lot of skins, then they look really nice. They are very interesting, and they're going to add a lot of variety to the Hollowlands, which is going to be great. And they're going to be adding more to the store over time. Quote unquote, all the time, so they say. They also talk about classes and gauntlets in the future. They don't have anything specific to talk about right now, but they are saying that they're going to add some in the future, probably. So looking forward to that. Hopefully it's interesting. Hopefully it doesn't break things too much. There were also questions about custom games being a thing, and it turns out they aren't going to be at launch, but they are aware that that is something that people are wanting to have in the game. Now the goal is to bring back Clash, as well as experimenting with a few other modes, but at launch it's just going to be Battle Royale. I'm assuming that Clash is probably going to be the first thing that they bring back, if anything, but experimenting with other modes is going to be good. I always thought the PvE type thing could be good, like if we're just battling a bunch of the hollow skin, like if they're kind of zombies or something like that and you're fighting them. That could be pretty fun, I think. And he also went on to say that there's going to be a bunch of content for the next week before the game actually releases, where they're working with a bunch of content creators to put out some stuff that's a little bit more official and such. Another thing that people notice is that Ruby Grove is completely overhauled from the looks of it. It's a much more interesting location to look at now, and that's kind of what they're wanting to do. They just want to add new locations that add a bunch more unique feel to different areas of the game. And it looks like Bogmore also got an update in terms of just general atmospheric effect, making it look a little bit more spooky. Now this one I don't know exactly what it means, so I just put in quotes. And he said, "Want to make sure players have opportunity to have Founders Packs for all platforms."
Our Founders Pack's going to be removed before launch on the 3rd. We'll have some information about that, Dory, but the TLDR is that we want to make sure that players have an opportunity to pick up Founders Packs.
To me, that sounds like maybe they aren't. Maybe they're going to have some kind of way of being able to get the Founders Packs, or at least the things within the Founders Packs, before or after the launch, rather. It sounds like they also haven't talked too much about using a battle pass type system, or if they're going to put that in quite yet, but they have talked about something named a chapter system. And I'm not sure exactly what that might detail. Let me know in the comments what you might think of all of this stuff that I'm somewhat speculating about. But I would assume that maybe it's some form of leveling system, kind of similar to a battle pass, but not necessarily like a buy-in. Maybe it'll be something related to lore. Who knows? At some point they're gonna have some sort of progression that's a bit more interesting, I would think. So let me know what you guys think about that. There's also talk about lore, which they kind of joked about, like, did you see the trailer? Lore is in there a little bit. And they're saying that lore is going to be a little bit more present in the game, which I'm excited about as well, considering I'm making the lore readovers and such. But that's going to be interesting. They said that lore is going to tie into the gameplay a little bit more. I'm starting to sound like I'm rhyming a bunch, but it's going to be interesting. It's going to be cool to see stuff kind of similar to like Fortnite, where you actually have, asteroids coming in and, rockets actually destroying the sky, and that adds some kind of gameplay element. Maybe they'll do stuff like that. Maybe it'll be like, oh, lore happens, therefore a new gauntlet is like created or something cool like that. They're also going to be releasing patch notes before the launch, as well as saying that there are some balance changes. And he didn't want to go too far into some things, and that's one of them. But I would expect that things are pretty close to what they used to be. It sounds like they aren't huge. Someone was also talking about an API for Spellbreak, and if that's going to be a thing, feels bad because that's not really been talked about with them a whole lot before. I think that'd be really cool. I think that could add a lot more interactivity for streamers and other content creators alike. But for now, that's probably too much of a thing for them to think about. They're just trying to make the game playable to begin with and get it out to a bunch of people and make their name, basically. Now that's it for actual questions that they talked about in terms of chat asking them stuff, but in the new gameplay, I noticed a few things, not a whole lot, but a few things. I noticed that there are new icons for the UI. It looks a lot more simple, but a lot more, I don't know, clean. Like just simple and clean, basically. And I'm kind of into it, honestly. I also noticed at this specific instance, there's a yellowish X on the map. And that's never really been an actual thing before in Spellbreak, as far as I know. But from what I can tell, it looks like it might be the marker for your teammate's death, so then you can kind of know where they died and grab their stuff if you need to. Who knows if there's a little bit more gameplay having to do with that? That's the only thing that I could think is useful, to just pick up their stuff, but who knows? They also updated the victory screen, which I think is pretty cool, actually. The last one that we had was basically just a field with a hill in the background, if I remember right, and it just wasn't really that capturing of your attention. But the background that they have now is a lot more interesting. It's much more similar to the training area, which, you know, looks really cool. A lot of people were hyped about that if it was going to be a new area, and we were let down a little bit, but it still looks pretty cool, to be honest. Now that's all that I noticed today. I wanted to get this video out pretty quick because there's going to be a lot of content coming out for the next week, and I want to be able to have this as like a, hey, if you want a rundown version, then here's the thing. So here's the thing. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. There's a lot of skins there that honestly may or may not have been in the survey that they took like last week or something like that. So maybe there's some stuff there. Maybe some of it ties into lore. Maybe there's other gameplay aspects that I didn't notice. But anyway, I'm Crazy Guitar Man 23. You can find me over at Twitch, Crazy Guitar Man 23, Twitter, CGM_Jared, same thing with Instagram. We have the Discord that you guys could join if you feel like it. I'm gonna be playing a lot of Spellbreak there and announcing lots of stuff there. It's where I announce all my streams and YouTube videos. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different than what I'm used to, but I'm trying to become more of a Spellbreak streamer, YouTuber. I want to really root myself into this game because it's honestly my favorite battle royale so far. It hasn't been put together all the way quite yet, but it's really close, man. It's really close, and I'm really excited. So I hope you guys enjoy. I hope you guys enjoy what's going to come in the future. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time, and good luck in the Hollowlands.
Is this what it's like to ask Pats about this? Wish I could do this. He didn't like it. He turned away. That's how you know he's not the real Reagan. Real Reagan would kiss me on the lips. But light switch. Oh god. Oh no.